Shamel Olwago, and you can call me Shem. Today I'll be reading from my book, The Pillars of Governed Mind, the Architecture of Civilization, and How It Shapes Your Experience. As I read through the book, I'll also be explaining some stuff in my own words, and this is a part where I'll be doing this for any of those who are more listeners than readers. So without further ado, I'll begin. The return to inner authority. What we call becoming is often a return, a remembering, a soft but undeniable recognition that beneath every identity we've ever worn, there was always been and has always been a deeper presence, steady, clear, unaffected, unbothered, heart-centered, peaceful, already whole. This is what some may call the God consciousness. It's what I refer to God consciousness as. Not as a doctrine or a belief, but as an innate state of being. A way of moving that is guided by the quiet certainty of inner knowing. The question becomes no longer, who am I supposed to be? But rather, what is true for me now? And deeper still, am I willing to trust the voice that has always been guiding me? Because the moment that you begin to listen, and I mean truly listen, your life starts to reorganize through direct alignment. Relationships shift, decisions become clearer, paths open that previously felt invisible, because you finally allowed yourself to follow what was already there. Where attention goes, energy flows. It's an age-old adage, if I'm saying the right word for it, but yeah, saying. And it's always rang true to me, like from the first moment I heard it, I was like, yeah, must have been at a seminar when I was younger. Just these motivational speakers would say something like that, and I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. But this is not abstract. With this layer of understanding I was shown through the experience, the systems we move within are very good at directing attention through repetition, structure, and what is normalized or not. On a collective level, this becomes a shared experience. We participate in the governed mind together and individually, but there's a collective thought, a collective belief, a collective social agreement, a collective soul agreement. And that collective participation is what gives the structure its continuity. This is not something to fear, it's something to become aware of. Once observed, the direction of your energy becomes a choice. And in that awareness, I realized all the things that I was participating in and how my energy was feeding into certain things that we believe are true or false, or positive or negative on a collective level. How these structures came to be. The structures we move through today did not appear all at once. They were shaped over time, refined, adjusted, and organized to support the needs of the societies they existed within. As populations grew and systems expanded, there was a need for order or coordination and predictability. And so the frameworks began to form. Over time, the systems became more centralized and uniform, not necessarily to limit, but to manage large groups of people in a consistent and reliable way. I guess that's what we thought at the time. I guess that's what our awareness led us to believe at the time. So we agreed to these systems. When a system is designed for scale, it often requires standardization, repeatability, and clear roles. And over time, this shapes how people move, they learn, work, and contribute, creating dominion over the individual operating within these type of structures. So each pillar that you'll read about, or I'll read about, education, religion, occupation, energy exchange, and environment, developed within this same shift that we all had. They were not created separately. They were shaped together under the same overarching intention. So when the governed mind is focused on efficiency, output, and stability, then everything beneath it, everything that attaches itself to it or is attached, will begin to reflect those same priorities. The 5 pillars. Within this structure stands 5 pillars. Each one represents a domain of human experience, a channel through which the governed mind operates and through which energy is directed, shaped, and reinforced. They are education, religion, occupation, energy exchange, and environment. None of them stand alone. They interweave. They support and reinforce one another. And together, they shape the field of experience we move within. Allow yourself to see these structures just as such. It's about seeing them clearly so that your relationship with each of them becomes a conscious choice rather than an unconscious default. From here, we begin to look at each pillar in turn and how you interface with each one is how you shape your experience. Once that was shown to me, and it was a magnificent piece of architecture with its marble pillars and its dome, it just simplified everything for me. I looked at it and thought, oh, I remember. So as I take you through each chapter, I'm curious to see how each of these will land for you. And I will see you in the next chapter.